Hello.
Welcome.
Hi. We're still working on the intro. We gotta figure it out.
Welcome everyone to Monday. Oh, never mind.
We can't say that. No, that's like the big game. We can't do that.
Yeah, we can't get the big game.
Big game.
Michael, did you enjoy the big game last
Yes, I enjoyed the big game with the Denver Broncos.
week? Classic. Ever since I was a child, I've been a fan of the Atlanta Falcons. Amazing.
Amazing. Anyway, my name's Mo.
And I'm TJ.
And this is We Haven't Seen It, a podcast about watching movies we have never seen before, and also we're trying to become the most smartest people in the world by watching every movie ever made.
That's true.
Yes,
I
okay.
think that's realistic.
Because we need to show people we are better than them, okay?
That's what having.
I want to show up to a dinner party. Okay, I want to be like, somebody's going to ask me, have you seen this movie? I'm going to be like, yes, I have. And I'm looking straight in the eye. I'm going to smash their drink out of the hand.
And then you say, have you seen this one? And when they say no, you say, oh, peon.
Yes. Yes.
Well, Mo, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty dang thankful not to be a horse today.
No, that's true. Yes.
Because the topic...
Or to be born in or to be living in the 1930s.
Oh, yeah, seriously. Yes. It seems like a depressing time.
Yes, it was. Yes. Nice pun. I love it.
Yeah, right?
Exactly. Anyway, I guess we'll get right into our movies of this week. This week, we didn't choose the movie. We selected the movie They Shoot Horses, Don't They? A 1969 drama psychological thriller, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah. So, directed by Sidney Pollack, starring Jane Fonda, Red Buttons, the man, the myth, the legend. Red Buttons. Put some respect on his name. All right, Michael Sarrazin, Suzanne York, Gig Young, and Bonnie Bedelia.
And I gotta tell you, other than Jane Fonda, I don't think I've ever heard of any of these people.
Yeah,
Maybe
me
that's
neither.
just me. Oh, Bruce Dern.
Bruce Dern was in it.
Yeah,
Bruce Dern was not that... Like, I thought he would be more in the movie, but I guess he wasn't.
He wasn't a big part.
No.
I knew the name at least.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, does this count as the first Jane Fonda workout video?
Maybe, yeah, I think this does.
I mean, it's definitely exercise.
Yes, it definitely is exercising. I mean, like the Biggest Loser exercising, where you just get yelled at the whole time, and then you gain the weight back because you can't handle the pressure.
It doesn't sound like a fun workout.
No, it does not. Okay then. Well, should we get into this? I guess. Yeah. Let's do a synopsis, TJ.
Sure.
Yeah.
Based on Horace McCoy's 1935 novel of the same name, They Shoot Horses, Don't They? Chronicles a dance marathon held during the Great Depression. Various couples and individuals, each with their own unique motivations, desperately compete before a live audience for the opportunity to take home a grand prize of $1,500 in silver dollars.
Woo!
That's a lot of money back then.
Yeah, definitely.
The rules are simple. The last couple standing wins the money. Over the course of the grueling marathon, which ends up lasting over 2 months, participants must continually dance, save for brief sleeping periods. Even worse, they are forced to participate in the occasional 10-minute derby, an exhausting foot race wherein the 3 couples in last place are instantly eliminated. Among the contestants are Gloria Beatty, played by Jane Fonda, and Robert Severton, played by Michael Sarrazin, who are paired up when Gloria's initial partner is disqualified from participating due to bronchitis. Interestingly, as a child, Robert witnessed the mercy killing of an injured horse. That's the name of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
A memory which has always stayed with him. Throughout the film, we witnessed the gradual degradation of participants' mental and physical health, and we're also shown flash-forward sequences which display a disheveled Robert in jail and later in court. It turns out that after enduring the marathon for over 30 days, during which they'd witnessed fellow participants suffer nervous breakdowns, outright dehumanization, and even death, Gloria and Robert discovered the event's MC, Rocky, played by Gig Young, from him anyway, that a large portion of the prize money would be withheld from the winners to cover the contest's expenses. Upon this realization, the two, now completely deflated and despondent, drop out of the marathon. As they gaze upon the Pacific Ocean, Gloria draws a gun and holds it to her head, only to realize she can't muster up the courage to pull the trigger herself. Undeterred, she asks Robert to help her, and he does so stoically. As the marathon nears the 1,500-hour mark, police arrive outside to find Gloria's body and arrest Robert. When asked by one of the officers why he killed her, Robert simply answers, "They shoot horses, don't they?" So yeah.
Yeah, that was a...
We probably should have put a spoiler alert at the beginning.
Yeah, we probably should have.
But I gotta tell you, Mo, the plot for this one was tougher to summarize than our last episode, which was Night of the Hunter.
Definitely.
Because that one was so character-driven, and not to say the characters aren't important here.
Yeah.
But this is so thematic.
Definitely.
Right? And you're in the same setting for the whole movie.
Definitely,
you know?
yeah.
this, in a nutshell, is a movie about human nature and the problems inherent that come with unchecked capitalism. That's what I thought.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's start first of all with like, have you seen this? Like, not have you seen this movie before? Have you known about this movie before?
I didn't know a damn
No,
thing.
me
never
neither.
Heard of this movie.
I heard of this movie. I don't know why I've heard of this movie. I remember, I don't know. I may have just gone through a rabbit hole of trailers one day, and I just saw it, and I just looked at it, and I was like, they shoot horses, don't they? And I was like, okay.
It's a title that you don't come across too often.
No.
Or.
It's not like emo songs. Not like that anymore, where it's just like long titles that make no sense.
Right.
They don't do that anymore.
Exactly. This ain't a scene, all right?
Yeah.
You're a big Red Buttons fan, though, aren't you?
I am now the captain of the head guy of the Red Buttons fan club. He's the MVP of this movie. I'm saying that now.
I can see that, yeah.
Definitely.
You can absolutely
gave
make
his
that
heart
case.
out for this. Both Billy and Fishy gave his heart out.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I
didn't plan that. That was out of nowhere.
No, that was good. That was very good. So yeah,
Yeah.
neither of us really knew a whole lot about this movie. I'd never even heard of it before.
Yeah. Okay.
So
what do you think about like? So I believe this is based on real things that happened in the 1930s, the Depression era.
Yeah, I hadn't known that either.
Yeah, me neither. Okay. So I did some research on it. Okay, so back in the 1920s, when everything was going great, middle class needed something to do, and the dance scene was jiving, whatever they said in the 20s. It was picking up. It was going crazy throughout America.
Women were showing their ankles everywhere.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That was very scandalous. And even today, I still freak out when that happens. The dance craze was going wild. And then the 1930s happens. The Great Depression happens, and then people were desperate. And they needed money, they needed food, and these dance marathons provided that. And also provided some entertainment from these down times. And unfortunately, they were brutal. They would not care about the contestants at all. They thought they were. It was actually the movie predicted it really well. If this is true, which I believe it is, it predicted it amazingly. I have some facts here about dances. So the longest dance marathon by an individual is officially by the World Record Association or whatever it's called is 126 hours. So that is 5 days. Okay, by a person named I don't know if this is true. Name is Bandana Nepal and Kathmandu, Nepal. Okay, so in this movie, the last time I checked, how many hours they were in was 1,105 hours. That's 46 days.
Jeez.
That's 46 days they were in, I guess they were racing the last time I checked. Because I don't know in the ending how long they were in there for, but if it was in the synopsis you said 1,500, that is almost either 50 or maybe 55 days.
I have it right here.
Okay.
Actually. So the last time you see the dance marathon being filmed, they've just hit the 1,491 hours.
Yeah.
If you do the math, that is 62 days and then an eighth of a day. So
That's
what,
insane.
3 hours? Yeah. That's
insane. Okay, so, but I believe the unofficial, well, I don't think this is unofficial. This is read on a news article I found. A person named Callum DeVilla, a hairdresser in, I think, Minnesota, on his gravestone, it reads, World Champion Marathon Dancer, 3,780 continuous hours. That is 154 days.
So he was a maniac.
He was a maniac. Everyone was a maniac. Okay, I read this but people were trying to outdo each other's world records back in the 1930s and 20s. You know, people would stand on high poles and everything and try to beat each other. Sure. One woman waltzed for 27 hours straight in New York, and then her record was beaten 6 times over 2 weeks. It's insane.
I mean, people didn't have as many distractions back
then,
that's for sure.
Yeah.
That is insane.
This whole movie just shows how desperate, how crazy times were back then. I mean, we've hit hard times before, in 2008 and everything, right. But we've never seen that type of I've never seen that personally because I grew up. I grew up not rich, but I grew up well and off enough that I wouldn't have to see that. But
right.
Yeah, it's insane.
Plus things changed in the digital age.
Yeah.
Instead of dancing on the top of a pole, you have explosions in things like being an Uber driver or even OnlyFans accounts. You know what I mean? People have coped with financial desperation in different ways.
Yeah, it's
more outlets.
Yeah, and this whole movie is It's about desperation, kind of how people like to watch desperation.
Yeah.
I kind of think about like how now that transitions to like maybe reality TV shows. Because people love reality TV shows, so they don't like it because of the characters. They love to see car crashes. They love to see desperate people do desperate things for money. Kind of reminds me of the Running Man, with those fake TV shows they had.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you're dead on with that. This whole movie really is about desperation, and frankly, it's a devastating movie.
It's devastating.
It really was a downer. In a way.
Yeah. Okay.
Not to say that's a bad thing. It's just it gets its point across.
Yeah.
And one thing that it's important to remember is, this is during the Depression. All these contestants, and what I love that the movie did was they gave each couple, for the most part, or at least the main ones, they gave them their own motivations.
Yeah.
You had people that were there, and this is in Southern California, so Hollywood area, but you have people that were there to be aspiring actors. You have the pregnant woman.
Yeah, I think they're all just there to live, like to live another day. Like that's the main motivation. And then Get Young just made these motivations because that's what they did. They made these romanticized stories to get people involved, to get money, get sponsors, and
right. Because even during a depression, I mean, what I took away from the movie is that yes, this is what happens when capitalism goes unchecked. I mean, and it's a societal thing too.
Yeah.
Like it's. I cannot understate how much this movie is about human nature in my mind because, and we'll get to it, there were so many themes that I picked up that are relevant even today. But yeah, like the audience that they're dancing in front of they're hinted at being the haves, the people that that have
like movie stars, like
business owners.
Yeah, I love in the beginning like how everybody like the whole like they're just dancing and then the only people in the crowd are just like drunks and bums just eating hot dogs.
Yeah, and then it gets bigger over time.
Yeah, because then they get more risks.
Right, it's like the Vegas boxing matches where like the whole undercard nobody's there, but then the whole front rows are filled for the very main event because they're just socialites that have nothing better to do. Mm-hmm. But no, it was a different movie. I had no idea what to expect going in. It was, like I said, slightly devastating, but it had some great points, I thought. Yeah. So do you want to get on to impressions of the characters?
I guess so. Yeah, we can do that.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you think of Jane Fonda in this movie? I thought she did great.
Yeah.
I still say Red Buttons, like even not jokingly, was probably one of the best parts of the movie.
Oh no, Red Buttons was amazing.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I didn't think there was a single bad cast member.
No.
I really didn't. I thought the whole cast was great.
Yeah.
They at least conveyed their roles. Jane Fonda here I don't know really anything about Jane Fonda, but from what I've read, this was like one of her first big.
Yeah, I think before this was she was in Barefoot in the Park in '67.
Okay.
Mike Nichols, and then I think Barbella, I think also '67.
Okay, yeah.
So so this was a major role for her, but maybe not a major role for her, but maybe not like her first one. But yeah, she did great in this role. I think she was she was the pessimist. I don't know what's that word.
Oh yeah, pessimist.
Yeah, pessimist. Yeah, she was the whole thing because she was. I don't know. She was like she wasn't supposed to be in this thing. She was like you convinced to a first partner. She's like, you convinced me to do this.
Right.
And then she was just like, and also Robert, Michael Sarrazin's character, I don't think he didn't want to be in this. He didn't want to be in this. He just walked in and was like, just do it. And I was like, yeah, sure. And then they just all got just gripped into it because they realized that they don't have much. They're all unemployed, mostly all of them unemployed actors, Navy men.
There was very little work back.
And absolutely. Like people and pregnant women and people who can't take care of themselves, so they gotta.
And yeah, she is an abrasive character, especially. She definitely is, but it's not without justification.
Yeah.
I never once thought like, wow, she's such a bitch or something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she comes off as mean sometimes, but like, put yourself in those shoes. I wouldn't blame her.
Yeah.
One of the lines of hers that really I think summed her up very well was. Robert asks her, so why'd you move out to California? And she said, well, if I'm going to be starving, I might as well be warm. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
But it's like, she's kind of very nihilistic, very pessimistic.
Yeah. And Robert's like, I think he's the dreamer, right?
Yes.
Like he represents the dreamer, like American Dream.
Like it,
Definitely. Did he, like in the beginning, I know like when the flashbacks happen of you see the little kid and see the horse, is that Robert? Because didn't he say he grew up in Chicago and his father was a pharmacist?
That's actually a really good point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
You're right, because I just assumed it was Robert.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe it was just a little slice of life type of scene where it was just a completely different child watching.
This connects everything better.
You're right. That might just actually be like a thematic thing, and that might not have actually been him. Good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
Definitely.
It's definitely him in the flash forwards, though.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely him. Yeah, so Robert's a dreamer. I think they're supposed to be in America, like the realists of America, versus like the not patriotic, but like just a dream fantasy. Like if we
sure,
work hard,
yeah, absolutely.
if we work hard, we'll make it. And then like slowly, like throughout the film, Robert realizes that it's not that. Like it's just everything just crashing down around him. He's seeing people just pass out, break down. He witnessed, like a spoiler, he's witnessed Red Button die. Like he just had a heart attack, and they just kept on going.
Yeah, while also covering. We'll get to it later, but they also cover it up. It's remarkable.
Yeah,
it's a remarkable scene, frankly.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right, and I think that's a theme of the movie too. Is Rocky, the Gig Young's character, says it at one point. Oh, it's the American way, people, when he's on the mic, and it's like, I think the movie. Yeah, I think Robert was the person that definitely believed in the ideals of the work hard and you get what you get out of life what you put into it. But during a depression where the rich people are just holding on to every penny they have.
And then everybody's dying and starving because they can't get jobs.
I think he becomes disillusioned by the end.
Yeah,
and it makes sense of the ending of it.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think of Gig Young's character? I mean, last week we saw a guy supposedly is the greatest, like one of the greatest villains of all time, and he was a great villain. Yeah. What do you think of him as a villain in this one?
I think Gig Young. I think the Rocky character, while he's definitely the antagonist, I can't say he's a great villain just because I almost understand his motivations. Yeah. He's just a product of his environment.
Yeah,
he's absolutely a piece of garbage in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
There's no question. Mm-hmm. First of all, I thought Gig Young was great. I thought he played a great character there. He was great at the MC. If I
hear yowza one more time, I'm going to punch myself in the face.
If I hear that goddamn siren that wakes them up to go.
I know. That's like when you. This is like very like. Not even related. Okay, so this is like when you wake up in the morning and you hear that alarm sound, and you're like, and then you hear it when you hear it like outdoors, like you don't even see it coming. You're like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You just freak out, like, oh god.
Did they establish, by the way, what was it, 2 hours to sleep each time? Did they say that?
I thought it was 10 minutes. I thought every 2 hours they get 10 minutes of rest, and then
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, that's
2 hours, 10 minutes of rest, and then they eat 7 meals a day.
Oh, and we'll get to the eating, because the eating scene I thought was really, really interesting, because it was such a contrast to what the people in the stands, how they were eating, compared to the people that were
Sidney
putting on the show.
Made this movie like really. Well, he made it really great. As simple compliment as that. But like, he really made it seem like these people were horses. I mean, they were being fed like horses. They were being treated like horses. The numbers on the sleeves is actually like a jockey race.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He really did a great job with the symbolism and the imagery of making it seem like they're not people. They're horses to entertain us.
They're numbers. They're numbers, exactly. They wear these number patches like you'd see in a 5K. Sometimes on their chest or back, but then other times on their arm. And like you're absolutely right. It definitely evokes imagery of horse racing or a horse anyway. But it also kind of is Holocaust imagery, no? With the arm sleeve? You don't think with the armband on the sleeve?
I don't think so. I mean, this was even. I mean, it's before the post Holocaust, but I don't know. I just don't see the connection. I see a connection more of capitalism, and as we see the lower class being made to entertain the higher class, and we're basically entertainment tools for the people around us. Yeah,
absolutely. I'm just saying it could be both. Is all I think. But
I just don't see it personally. But
that's fine.
Okay,
it's okay to be wrong.
Sure.
I can go for either. But
okay. It
don't matter.
Definitely.
I don't think Sidney Pollack's around to ask.
No, I believe unfortunately that.
But either way, it was effective.
It was effective. Very effective. Anyway. Definitely. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think Gig Young. Yeah, he was just a character of his environment. He was a bad guy, but he just had to. He had to work to survive.
Right.
And,
he had to pay his bills too.
Yeah. He did a lot of bad things. Like, that was a hand job, right? He got a hand job from.
Yeah,
Jane Fonda.
That's what it was.
I don't know why she gave him. Why is he? Okay, so was that before or after Robert was with the movie actress? What was her name?
After.
That was after.
Robert got his freak on before that, but again, it all goes back to the desperation. I mean,
think just sad. They just want to survive and keep on going.
Especially in Gloria, Jane Fonda's case, I'd say, because she's trying to please the guy in charge just because it's a desperate act of maybe I'll get some kind of favor here. Mm-hmm. I will say this, I think with Alice was her name, the actress that Robert slept with. I will say this, I think for her it was more, she was on the downslope in terms of her mental health, like she was starting to crack.
Definitely.
And B, I mean, we're talking these people were here for 2 months, the ones that made it out to that point anyway. Yeah. Frankly,
Yeah.
I don't know, but frankly, you're gonna have that urge, right? At some point, I don't know. I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm reading too.
Like, I'm not saying what Robert did was good, even though he did it. I know he did it. What reasons why he did it doesn't mean it's still good. I mean, he hid the dress from Alice.
Yeah.
And that drove her even more crazy,
that
and
was
just kept on
crazy,
going down. She did a great job. Alice was another great character in this movie because
yes,
she was just like, she was this person trying to make it in the movies, and then like we just see her slowly go down and down
and even more
down.
though, like where you have Gloria who's super pessimistic and nihilistic, Alice is actually really optimistic at the beginning. Like she's really confident in herself, and you just see, in a way, she's kind of the emotional fulcrum here. You see her crack the most, I would argue.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because Gloria starts as like, she obviously cracks too, but Gloria at the beginning is not like, she's a realist. She's not an optimist. She's a pessimist / realist. She's somewhere in there.
I don't think she expected to be in this that long. I thought she was going to be like in the beginning where like, oh, my feet are tired, I'm just going to go. I thought she was going to be one of those. Like, she probably thought she was going to be like that. Right. But no, but then she kept forward with it. Yeah. Maybe because of Robert's like this constant like hopes that she giving her like throughout the film, because he's just talking about the ocean and the daylight and everything and like the sunsets, and it's giving her some kind of connection to her, which is why she was devastated when Robert almost slept with Alice. I don't think they got all the way because they were interrupted by the alarm.
Sure, it's left ambiguous. Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah, and that's the funny thing too. I think that they're all under such mental strain that it's like
it's like Stockholm syndrome,
right? They don't even have feelings. It's never said that Robert and Gloria have feelings for one another.
No,
but when she sees him come out of the same room that Alice did, she gets, maybe it's not jealous, but she definitely is a little upset with him, right? Yeah, in a way. I think it's just all
because like if they've been through like torture. They've been through hell together. They've been through this marathon, and it gives you a connection, a deeper that we would never know because we haven't been in those types of situations before. So and then once you betray that, you're just like, you're devastated. You feel like terrible.
Absolutely, absolutely,
definitely. Okay. I don't know.
Do you want to get to the man, the myth, the legends, or?
What's the man, the myth, the legends?
The man, the myth, the legend, rather. I had Harry the Sailor next.
Oh, Harry the Sailor, yeah.
Or we can go to Mrs. Layden, because Mrs. Layden interested me. The old lady in the
I don't really get her.
Was she her aunt? Was she Gloria's
aunt? I had
aunt?
No idea.
At one point I thought they said that. I could be wrong.
I think they were. I was wondering, like, is this lady know her? Because like I don't know why she would, like, Jay Fonda doesn't want to talk to her. So I was just like, what's going on with that?
She seemed to know her. I think they did know each other, and there's one brief moment where like Jane Fonda goes over there and they like touch hands. They like hold hands for just a brief second.
Yeah.
But Mrs. Layden is a character that's in the crowd that's constant, that several times throughout the movie is calling Gloria, Gloria, and Gloria never wants to go and talk to her. She's trying to ignore her. But when Gloria is paired up with Robert, Mrs. Layden actually pays for them to get clothes that sponsor her company. What was it, like some kind of iron drink?
Yes, yeah, something like that.
But so the next scene, and throughout the rest of the movie, you see Robert and Gloria wearing clothes that show that brand.
Yeah, that does not go away either. Every time you see them, they're wearing one of that.
In jail too, When he's in jail, you see it. But I thought that was really interesting, and what I gathered from that is like it's kind of a hypocrisy. She's acting like she cares about Gloria, but it's like these people in the audience are so detached from the reality of these contestants.
Yeah. It's kind of like how
they don't understand that their money simply could help if you just kind of shared a little bit.
Yeah.
And we're not socialists per se. It's just, during a depression, realistically, wouldn't that help everyone? Instead of having this big extravagant event where the grand prize is $1,500, which most of it goes toward paying for the event.
Yeah.
Maybe just giving as charity to people who need, like, that would solve things. So instead, she thinks she's doing right, Miss Layden, by sponsoring this couple, right? But instead, she's really just promoting her brand.
Yeah, that's
what
true.
I got anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Like, Miss Layden character, I don't really think about her that much because I guess she wasn't really a main plot of the movie, or a main character in the story. So I don't even think about it. But yeah, I can definitely see that, yeah.
She definitely wasn't a main part. I just thought that was interesting. Because if you really cared about Gloria, you'd make sure she didn't have to end up in a competition this grueling, this dehumanizing. You know what I mean? But all right, that's fine. One other quick note. I thought the couple with the pregnant woman, Ruby.
Yeah.
Ruby was her name. I don't remember the husband's name. But
that was Bruce Dern, though, yeah.
That was Bruce Dern. I don't remember his name. I believe it was Bruce Dern, right?
Yeah, Bruce Dern was the husband and the...
Yeah, okay, that's right.
Yeah.
I found them interesting, and actually they were my favorite couple. Other than perhaps, I guess, Gloria and
Yeah, because they
Robert.
do love each other. They're just trying to survive.
He was
and
defending her. Remember
defending
when Gloria
her?
was
Yeah.
like kind of, shit-talking Ruby.
Yeah, because she was like, "Wow, you bringing a life into this world. This world's like, how are you gonna feed it?"
I got thoughts on that later. Absolutely.
Okay.
But yeah, no, and again, I'm not gonna say that Gloria was a bad guy or anything, but yeah, she was definitely rude to Ruby a couple times, and her husband stepped in and. Like, all I'm saying is I loved the fact that these couples all have different motivations, and to me, this was the one I wanted to see succeed the most.
Yeah.
They were still around at the 1,500
They kind of, yeah.
At the end, they were still in there because they were so desperate, and you see this woman's baby bump get bigger throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Because, like,
they're in for 2 months. Yeah, they're in for 2 months. So that means she was like probably maybe 3 months pregnant. And then then she became 5 months pregnant.
Right, and they don't know. They don't know that they're gonna have. If they win that 1,500, they're gonna lose. I don't remember if they specified how much.
I think I think it's gonna be like $250. They're gonna win. Yeah, which is still a lot of money back then, but like you promised. You promised that much. Yeah, that's insane.
Especially when you have sponsors like all.
Yeah.
We'll get to those sponsors too. I thought that was interesting, but. But did you have any thoughts about that couple at all?
Let's see. Not really. I don't know. I just like my main thoughts. Like they mostly come to me while I'm talking, and I think of them. But no, just not really. I mean, they represent, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
People who need the money the most.
Yeah, they need money most. They just represent who do they represent in America? Because there's like Gloria represents realism, Rob represents like the dreams. I guess Gig represents like the corporate. Like the rich people, the people who control everything.
Right. I would say this couple represents the real hard-working people. The dad, he was a farm worker.
Yeah, he looks like a farm worker. Yeah.
This was an honest couple who genuinely seemed like they loved each other, like they had each other's back.
Yeah.
And they genuinely were the ones hurting the most during the Depression.
Yeah, because I remember in the scene when I believe Ruby was her name, when she was singing and like the husband was just looking at her either to make sure she doesn't fall or like she was worried about him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is also part of that, dare I say, anti-capitalist theme of the movie in a way, is you have a farm worker, like, yeah, it's great to have a bunch of aspiring actors that you can side with, and that's not a problem, but really, in the grand scheme of things, which is the more trite occupation, and which is the one that's more beneficial to society?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a commentary on how, we idolize the hell out of actors and movie makers, but we kind of don't think about the people that give us our food, you know what I mean? So I think that kind of plays into that, just holding up a mirror on capitalism, and especially during the Depression, how that worked. Again, we're not socialists, we're just realists. Maybe a little. I believe in I'll just go out and say it. I believe in a healthy mix of capitalism and socialism. I think there's nothing wrong with getting rich, but you better pay your taxes.
Definitely.
That's all I ask for.
Yeah.
So, okay, finally we can get to the man, the myth, the legend.
Red Buttons himself.
Michael, I'm gonna let you have the floor. Okay, I'm gonna shut the hell up because I've been feeling all the wind in this.
It's probably a bad idea when you think. Okay, but let's do it. Okay, so Red Buttons plays Harry the Sailor. I guess Harry the Sailor represents like the old times of America. Definitely.
Yeah, he fought in the Great War.
Fought in the Great War. We don't know if he fought in the Great War. He was just a guy in the sailor suit.
They said he did.
Yeah,
you're right.
Of course, that could have been dramatization. I don't know. He just showed a lot of heart. I think that's why. I think he shows the heart. Like also like, if Rob represents the dream, he represents the heart of like the American ingenuity of just keep on going and going. Even when you're old, you just keep on going. Like he entertained, he tap danced, which is great. And then, unfortunately, like it showed when he died, it's just like so. Like it doesn't matter how much heart you put into it, if nobody's there to help you, you would just pass away and be forgotten.
And isn't that a relevant commentary on how we treat our veterans? Frankly? Yeah. Whether you agree with the wars or not, like we do treat our vets like shit.
Yeah.
No question. But I know I said I'd stop talking, so carry
on. Yeah. What else about Harry the Sailor?
What'd you think about his death scene?
Does that scene? That was actually like I was picturing him being shot down because it was kind of like that. Like he was running. Like okay, so the derby scene, derby scenes were amazing. Okay, so this is how he died. Okay, so the derby scene. This is the second derby, I believe. Or it could have been even more. I don't know how many derbies he did. We only saw 2 of them, but this was the second derby. Jane Fonda is now paired with Harry because his partner collapsed, which was also great because she. We didn't give her much time with her, but then she had to freak out, so the bugs were all on her. And
yeah,
so that was great.
That was powerful.
But yeah, so they're together, and then they're just running their hearts out, and she's pulling along Harry as much as possible, but unfortunately, like I think it was kind of like a gunshot. I don't know if I remember like actually hearing a gunshot like as symbolism.
Yeah, no,
during the whole thing. He just like grabbed his heart, is like my chest, and then he just collapsed. And then like everybody, and like Jane Fonda, like he just thinks he's resting, like he can't go any longer. He's like, "Come on, you son of a bitch, run,
right.
Run!"
Talking to him like a drill sergeant. Yeah,
exactly. And then like once the end happens, they just realize he died, and like,
yep.
And like the competition's not gonna stop. It's gonna keep on going. There's like doesn't matter what happens, this thing will go on until the end. Kind of like how I don't know, like how we treat, like it doesn't matter what happens to you when you die, like in major things, like the event will keep on going. You'll just be, you could be pushed to the side.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, is it a commentary on capitalism where you just keep running? It's a race, and people who fall behind, it's not your problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's out for themselves.
Yeah, that's way. Yeah.
And again, it all stems from the desperation.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like she doesn't even realize what's happening to him. She thinks he's just old and he's tired. And the most appalling part is the guy's dead, and she does manage to will them through the race to finish it and not be eliminated. And he's obviously collapses afterward, and the medics, the doctor comes out and the nurses, and they know obviously he's had a heart attack and he's dead. But Rocky, the MC, starts saying, "Oh, don't worry, folks, it's just a classic case of heat exhaustion. We'll get him back on his feet in no time," knowing full well that he's fucking dead. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then Rocky even lies to Alice afterward. Alice has this scene where she has a nervous breakdown in the shower.
Yeah.
She takes a shower with her clothes on, and she's screaming and she's freaking out. It's actually a really great scene.
Mm-hmm.
And she asks Rocky, and this might be his most evil moment in my mind. She asks him, tell me the truth. Is he alive? And yeah, I give you my word, he's alive. Like, yeah, no, he's actually, yeah. The more I think about it, yeah, he was a villain, man. Fuck that.
Yeah, that guy was evil.
But yeah, Red Buttons was great.
Definitely.
The scene where he tap dances for nickels, presumably, was great. He was an entertainer, and I think that he genuinely believed that. He believed in the American way until it bit him in the ass.
Definitely.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that's all the characters you can think of, except for a few side ones like the referee.
Yeah, the referee was a cool concept. Yeah. It kind of shows what a sick game this whole thing is.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have referees that are on roller skates.
Yeah.
They come and make sure that when your knee touches.
Oh, yeah, I saw this one scene. Like, remember when Rocky's eating? Like, he's eating like a separate table, probably better food than they are.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's like, and Alice was like, "Did you find my dress?" And like, we're looking into it. By the way, we forgot to mention Rocky stole the dress from Alice. That's why she had the breakdown. Yeah. She caused it because it's like when the person who has that job in reality TV shows to stir shit. Yeah. He did that, and he caused her breakdown.
Actually, yeah, you know what? He is definitely a villain. I know I understood his motives, and I kind of
did.
Fuck Rocky, though.
Yeah, fuck Rocky.
Yeah, no, he sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I kind of actually briefly forgot about that. He did steal that dress.
Yeah.
And Alice did not deserve that.
Yeah, definitely. All right, that's like all the characters mostly.
Yeah, the most memorable ones. I don't know about you. I found a lot of like random topics and themes that I found interesting.
All right, let's go for it. I'll let you speak since you have like a lot to say.
Sure. I thought the major overarching theme of this movie was it's the haves versus the have-nots. And when you put it in the terms of the Great Depression, you have the haves that are in the stands and they are betting money and they're eating ice cream and they have vendors serving hot dogs and stuff, and they can come and go as they please. Watching for their entertainment, these people degrading themselves, dehumanizing themselves, and killing themselves, frankly. I thought that was the most powerful message in the movie.
Definitely.
And I think that it just speaks to the whole situation. Instead of funding this big goofy playground for the rich to come watch the poor and be entertained by the poor dancing for their benefit, some slight donations could have changed these people's lives.
Yeah.
That's what I got from this.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely saw, and it was a small moment, but I could not help but write it down, is about how the rich always seem to have a contempt for the poorest of the poor. If they worked harder, they'd be fine. If they pulled themselves up, right? There was, in the first Derby, when Rocky introduces the Derby and the rules and whatnot, and he says, The three teams in last place will be eliminated. You hear the crowd boo. And it just struck me as, that's like, again, it's kind of symbolism of the rich having that contempt for the poor. I don't know. I mean,
because they're gonna try, even though they try the hardest, they're gonna lose.
Right. Now, full disclaimer, I'm an English minor basically, so I read way too far into movies like this. But I definitely saw that as something that was worth noting. Did you see the infighting within the class? Like, it's kind of like, how do I put this? I see it all the time now. Like, it's like the divide and conquer scenario, where if you divide the masses, you can take advantage of them or manipulate them.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is you see in this movie a lot of infighting in between the contestants. They're all lower class, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And you see them, because they're all so desperate, they have to fight each other.
Yeah,
so
like when like that one scene, like really small scene where Gloria is dancing, and like some guy just comes really close to her, like she's like, get away. Like not that bad delivery I just did, but yeah, she's like, hey, get your own space. Like, oh, I'm sorry, and then
right, or and we don't know Rocky's financial situation.
Yeah,
we don't. He could be poor too, but him sabotaging Alice.
Yeah.
We definitely see infighting from the contestants, and I thought that was really relevant to today, because if you're on social media, it's a fucking cesspool. You see people calling each other Nazis or socialists or bootlickers. It's just, again, I think all this translated very well. But yeah, did you see that too, or am I just...
I think you saw that more. I mean, I was watching the movie. I didn't really think much. I didn't really think about that, but yeah, I can definitely see that.
I think the two-party system's bullshit. I think that everyone is so tribalistic right now, and it pisses me off. It's like, frankly, we should just kind of all hate the 1%.
Yeah,
realistically,
definitely.
Whatever.
Definitely.
But yeah, any themes you want to talk about?
No, I think we mostly covered most of them when discussing this movie.
We should. What did you think of the eating, the buffets?
Oh yeah, the buffets. There was just it was like a horse trough, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Everybody was lining up. Everybody's lining up. Everybody was eating bread and like hot dogs really fast.
And just dancing like zombies, just swaying ever so slightly so they don't get eliminated. Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess we did. Did you notice the sponsors?
Yeah, they were like...
that was interesting.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really put much on. I saw Ford, and then something else, right?
I saw Ford and Philip Morris. Now, do you know what Philip Morris is, Michael?
No.
Philip Morris is the most wealthy tobacco company in the world, in the U.S. And if you look on the dance floor, there are sponsored advertisements. So you see the Ford logo, you see Philip Morris logo. And I just thought that was so funny, because it's like, again, the winners of this contest have to give most of the money back to cover the like, dude, Philip Morris could pay for this whole thing if it went on for 6 years. Like, so I just thought that was something that was highly hypocritical as well, and definitely anti-advertisement culture in a way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's still insane how far they went. Like, if this really happened, they lasted like 3 months, almost 2 months just dancing. Not dancing, I should say, standing up and not falling down.
Yeah, at the end of this, it's worth noting that they were not dancing at this point.
No.
And I don't think many of these, like you said earlier, I don't think most of these real-life dance marathons lasted this long.
Yeah.
But the whole point was that the rich people were just entertained by watching the poor folk try and make better of themselves.
I don't know how. Like, after, like...
There was no TV.
A month, there's just, like, you see these people, they're dirty, they're unshaven, they have no hope. It's just like, I don't know how can people watch. I guess people can watch that. I mean, that's why we have TV shows. But after a while, you're just like, what are we watching?
People used to go watch public executions.
Yeah, that's true. Public hangings, yeah.
I've never thought that I'd say this, but perhaps it's a blessing we do have reality TV.
Yeah, it's better than public hangings. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely better than that. The one last thing I thought was interesting, you mentioned it earlier, was when Gloria shows contempt to Ruby for being pregnant, and she says something along the lines of, how can you have a baby if you can't afford to raise it? And full disclosure, I've always kind of felt the same way.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't want to have children. I don't see the need to. I think there's too many of us humans on this planet, and especially until I am financially secure enough to raise a child and give it a good life, I don't want to have one. But I found it interesting because it does call into contrast the whole biological reason for having children, and it puts it up against the social responsibility for doing so.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, if we want the human species to live on, which I don't necessarily need it to, we have to keep perpetuating it.
Yeah.
We have to keep procreating, right?
Yeah, that's what they did back then. They had like 12 kids.
Right. So why don't we set up a society that can take care of...
I don't know.
It's a capitalism thing, I guess, in a way. It's the wealth gap type of thing. In my mind, it makes no sense to even be a billionaire. I don't know what you do with $1 billion.
I would just buy a lot of fudge.
A lot of fudge. That sounds great.
That sounds great.
I don't know. Once you hit 999 million, can't you just?
That's what Waka Flocka did. He hit 30 million and stopped.
That's why I respect him. He goes hard in the paint, man.
Yes, go hard in the motherfucking paint, bitch.
Yes, but I swear to God, you hit 999 million, you should just get a sticker that says "I beat capitalism," and every dollar therefore goes to schools or healthcare. I don't know, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then. That was our thoughts on the movie and the characters and everything.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what we think of the movie. Would you watch it again? What's the rating, I guess?
So this one's tough to quantify. Would I watch it again? Honestly, probably not. It's very devastating.
Yeah, very devastating.
It's very good.
Yeah,
it's a very good movie, and I will say that for a movie I'd never seen, I'm very glad that I saw it.
Yeah.
The ending was so raw. Like, frankly, I did not imagine seeing... When he hands him the gun and says, will you help me, he's very stoic about saying, yeah, I'll help you. Like, at that point, they're just so both dead inside. He doesn't care. He'll do it.
Yeah.
And he shoots her. And I just thought it would be a shot where you see his face and you hear the gunshot. No, you straight up see her get shot.
Exactly. Kind of like how a cow gets killed in the slaughterhouse. It's like a bullet to the head.
It's very blunt. And again, I thought the end was ingenious when he gets arrested and they say, so why'd you do it, son? Oh, she told me to. Yeah, that can't be your only reason. Well, they shoot horses, don't they? It was just so clever.
Yeah.
I thought it was so clever.
Mm.
I am very glad that I've seen this movie now.
Yeah.
How about you?
I'm glad I've seen this movie. Like I said, I probably won't watch it again. But it was very entertaining. I'm glad I saw it. Sorry, I'm not really descriptive with everything going on. It's very heavy, yes. Yeah, I'm glad I saw it. I thought the direction was amazing. The characters were great. Red Buttons for life.
Yeah, Red Buttons.
RP, my homie.
For sure.
Definitely. I will watch.
It's free on YouTube, by the way.
It is free on YouTube.
Yeah,
why not? I mean, they probably should have taken it down years ago, but they're not going to because I guess whatever.
At this point, don't movies that age just enter the public domain?
No, it has to be 57 years, I think. 57 or 52. We're almost there. Anyway. Yeah, definitely. By the way, Red Buttons won an Oscar and Golden Globe for a movie called let me see my notes. I think it was the movie like Soy Oneri. Soy Oneri is a Marlon Brando movie. That could have been the one where he did Yellowface.
Oh.
Ever hear of that movie?
No.
Where Marlon Brando played an Asian man.
I know the one where Mickey Rooney did it. I know that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That was bad. But anyway, there's characters.
Hollywood.
Anyway, the acting was great in this movie. The character, like the costumes, everything was great. Would I watch this movie again? Probably not, but I am glad I saw it because it's one of these great movies of Hollywood that nobody really talks about. And
one last thought about it. I'm glad you mentioned that because yes, it's one of those movies that reminds me of a modern day Birdman, where it's a great movie. I can see why Hollywood. I think this movie's a lot like those, like Shape of Water or Birdman, where yes, it's a really good movie, but is it going to be in the public consciousness 20 years from now?
No.
No, probably not at all. Like I could see this winning a ton of Oscars and being obscure.
This was like the beginning of like 70s Hollywood, where everybody was like just really artistic and just shot cinema the way they wanted to, and then the 80s happened, and but yeah.
Yeah. I would say if you're open-minded and you don't mind that we just spoiled the whole thing for you, give it a watch.
True.
Honestly, it is a good movie. It's
thought-provoking. Unless you're like a capital venturist or a banker, you'll probably hate this movie, but
you'll be one of the ones in the crowd, too.
Yes, definitely.
But yeah, those were our thoughts on it anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, out of rating system, I'll get this 3 red buttons out of 4.
That's a great rating system. I love that. I'll give it 3.5 red buttons.
Yeah.
So my God, my chest.
Should we just stick with that? Should that be the rating system through the whole thing? Just red buttons?
Honestly, we can. I don't.
Yeah.
Or we can change it up each episode. It don't matter.
Yeah. Okay, well then, I guess that's it. I guess the last thing we do, we gotta spin the wheel. I gotta find the wheel first. I forgot to put it up. Oh, here it is. Okay, spin the wheel app. I'm kind of hoping we don't get one of my movies because if we get like 3 in a row,
What's the last one, Copland?
My last one's Copland. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, next week or whenever we release these episodes, movies will be... Memento!
Memento!
Yes,
okay.
Christopher Nolan's classic. Not the Christopher Nolan you think of, his brother Christopher Nolan, the different Christopher Nolan.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
We went over this last episode. Each Christopher Nolan is a different Christopher Nolan.
Exactly. Like he has many siblings, each named Christopher.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. The Adventures. They had a kids' TV show called Adventures of Christopher and Christopher. That's great. Okay, well, anyway, I'm Mike Sassmo, and
TJ. I'm TJ, and again, I'm not Red Buttons, but
we wish we were.
That's okay.
We wish we were, definitely. R.I.P. Red Buttons. Mad respect.
We'd be dead though.
Yeah, we'd be dead. Oh, I'm gonna name my child after him, so it's fine.
That's what you should.
Exactly.
Red Buttons.
Red Moshe.
Yeah, Red Buttons Moshe.
Red Buttons Moshe. All right, so we haven't seen it, and we saw it. Have a nice night.
Take care.